Welcome, brothers and sisters, to these teachings about the moon dance. Tonight, we're gonna see some teachings received in the ceremony of the moon dance. So, you remember that I'm recording this one, but if you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact me through the Facebook page Ancestral Healers Turtle Clan or our WhatsApp. If you are not added, please just call me or text me, and I will be more than happy to add you into the WhatsApp group. So let's start with this one. Remember that we talk about the sacred pipe, or chanupita as we call it. This is composed by two parts: the feminine part, that is represented by the obsidian stone, and is a strong material that comes from a volcanic energy because it's created in the center of Mother Earth, exactly under the pressure of the volcans. The vástago, or the wood part, represents the masculine part. And this one together represents what we call ometeot, that means the duality united. Remember that we believe that we are dual, we have feminine and masculine energy, and together in balance is one of the most powerful energies that exists on earth. This one will be used with tobacco, of course, as the carrier of message that make the prayers to elevate to the great spirit or the spiritual world. The sacred pipe excuse me needs to be cleaned and purified at the beginning of every ceremony and after as well, passing the vástago and the stone over the smoke, or the sahumador, what we know in English as smudge, with copal usually, for offering to the four directions. Copal, remember, is a sap of a tree, a sacred tree in Mexico. I have tried to find it here in Canada, but I haven't, even though we're going to bring it as important part to us to elevate as well with tobacco the messages to the great spirit. So you're going to be able to have it during the ceremony. We get the pipe, we always handle it with the left hand, excuse me, because it's the side of the heart and the spiritual side of feminine energy. In the moon dance, the persons who decide become a pipe guardian get the compromise to dance at the same circle for 4 years. This is something that we already talked about it. It's a connection between the spiritual world and our world. It's important to know that it's a commitment of honesty and respect your word. What it means to us, integrity. So if you are a person or you're trying to develop this integrity, the only way to do it is living the experience. And how is doing that? With congruency. What does it mean that whatever that you said is exactly what you do? In the Aztecs' beliefs, we have the Aztec calendar, and in the Aztec calendar they talk about the fifth sun that is moving. We believe that this will bring energy of change to everything and everybody. In the Borgia Codex, we can read the prophecy. To fortify this prophecy, we have the moon dance. According with the Aztec stories, we had 4 sons. The first son, it's called Nawi Oceleti, that means jaguar or tiger. The second son is Nawi Ehecatl, that was belonged to the wind. The third son is Nawi Kiawitl, that means fire or rain. In the fourth son, Nawi Atl means wind, and the fifth son is Nawi Odin, that means movement. So remember that we live already the fourth sons, and we are right now in the fifth one. This fifth is represented by the big movement of energy. not just in the spiritual world, but in the material world. So we're gonna be, or we have been seeing since this year started, lots of changes in the mindsets, in the spiritualities growing up. The people that is not ready to change is leaving us, is passing away, and all those that are willing to make a change, to move from the place that they are in consciousness and energetical and spirituality, well, they are looking things like this. So moon dance is just one instrument to can reach this spirituality too. Sorry, I think okay. The four directions to us is represented by colors, and they have the Anahuac symbols. The Anahuac used to be the most ancestral old city from Mexico, where Toltecs came from. The east direction is the yellow color and represents the Tlahuistlampa, where is the Quetzalcoatl house. All this is a big, huge cosmovision, and we might need lots of time to explain this in detail, which we can do it if you want. You can just let me know, and I can prepare a special class for every single part of this one. It's important for you to understand which energy belongs to each side, because we are going to be calling the four directions same way that our brothers and sisters doing here. But well, this is the way that we have. It might have some variations, some small differences, but the core is exactly the same. Then we have the west direction that belongs to the red color. This direction is belong to Cihuatlampa and is the house of Xipetotec. Xipetotec is the one that represents the change. When you are ready to really change your life, when you are tired of being living in the same way with the same problems, with the same things coming back again and again, this is the direction that you're calling. We call it as well the red path. That is the way that we choose to live, and it's a constantly change, to renewing every single part of your life in order for you to create balance. The north direction represents the white color. Some people use black, and it's totally all right. And it belongs to the Mictlampa. Is the house of Tezcatlipoca. We call it the smoke mirror. And this place reflects your darkness. I don't know if you are related with the Star Wars, for example. They manage a lot the dark side and like the light side. Is a little bit of what we can explain in this duality. We know that we have both energies, right? We have feminine, masculine, we have sun, we have dark, we have light, we have dark. Is everything in duality. So the smoke mirror shows you this hard part to see to some of us when we are in our ego and we are so used to behave in a way that perhaps is not your biggest potential, perhaps it is not giving you the happiness that you want or you desire, but you are so used to, it's so normal to you that it's hard to see it, because perhaps you create that kind of life to face a very hard time, like a baby didn't decide to be angry all the time. A baby wasn't born being jealous or greedy, or you know what I mean? Like when we are newborns, we are on our biggest potential. We are very natural, clear. We don't have all these mask defenses or things that they help us to get through difficult times. But if you don't let it go when it's time to let it go, you might be living in a very hard feelings all the time, and that becomes very tired. So this Mictlampa is the place that will show you who you really are without any hesitation. Then we have the south direction that belongs to the blue or black color as well. As I mentioned, some people change it and it's totally all right, but the core is the same. This direction belongs to Wislampa, that we call it the left colibri. A colibri is the moon honeybird. And why is left? Because the teachings in here are very pure. This is like when you reach this direction, this door, or you open this portal in your life, you become a really humble person, like very wise, and your perception of life just change. But reaching this is quite a work. I guess every door, every direction has their inner work in order to can reach, and once that you reach one, you can go to the next one, and this will make wonderful changes in your life, and you will see it. You can do it if that's what you want. If that's what do you desire, well, this is an opportunity to. The center usually belongs to the sky. We call it Omeyokan or Iwiklampa. Obviously, in the sky, we have many meanings, we have many things. We call the Great Spirit, the Universal World, a Universal Father, God. It depends on you. Mahoma, Hare Krishna, lots of things in there, and everything is all right. The next one belongs to the earth, Tonancincuatlicue. That's the name in Nahuatl. And the earth, obviously, we are calling Mother Earth, which is really important to us. The earth give us the strength of love, care of our acts, because it's heart. The heartbeat of Mother Earth is connected with. No, okay, let me rephrase this. Sorry, I'm miswriting this. Our heartbeat is connected to Mother Earth heartbeat. And we strongly believe that this is the place where our inner strength comes from. That's what we want trying to say in there. As recapitulation, we have been mentioning lots of things in the past classes. I invite you to look at them in the Facebook page or the WhatsApp. There are the links, and I'm going to start a YouTube link where I'm going to try to upload all the past classes. If you miss one and you would like to learn something specific, please, again, don't hesitate to contact me. I can explain in detail everything that you want. Now, something important is the Temazcali. Oh, wait a second. No. Sorry, this one gets back. And I'm not sure why. I think I touched another button. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the life experiences during the 4 years of became a moon dancer. Remember that we're talking about one book that was wrote about the sacred pipe and the moon dance, and we find it very interesting because it's like a very easy way to understand and to learn what the author says, and it reflects in a good way, like for a first approach, what moon dance is. So let's talk a little bit about this lady experiences as a moon dancer. On her first year, she says that, as many people, she didn't have an idea how the process was. And most of us, when we started for first time, we didn't know. We just feel the calling. It's like when you listen about the moon dance or someone talk to you about moon dance and you really feel that you want to be part of it, you go because you feel it, even though you don't have a clue how it is, how it looks like, or what to do. One of the reasons why we started this moon class moon dance classes is exactly for you to have an idea, at least a general idea, of what do we do and how it looks like. Now, obviously, in the first year, it was very tired for her because of the fast. Remember that fast is not mandatory, but is desirable. A reason why, because your connection with the spiritual world and your experiences are, I don't know if higher will be, excuse me, the better word for it, but the connection is stronger for sure. Again, it's optional, it's not mandatory. The Temascal strength, or she could feel the Temascal strength. The Temascal is how we call the sweat lodge. Um, Remember that we are bringing the Toltec wisdom. So we're gonna talk perhaps about things that you might know with different names, usually in Nahuatl. That's the language of Toltecs. But is the general idea might be the same, but some specifications might be a little different. So I will ask you to, as this beautiful lady, to open your mind and be ready to receive perhaps something slightly different. But at the end of the day, knowledge is knowledge and the message is there. So don't fight with that. Just flow with it and you will have an amazing experience. For her, at the first year, it wasn't enough rest during the day. And when it's your first year, you are like kind of having for first time perhaps this fast experience or don't sleep at night. And it used to be really hard for everyone. Is usually just the first year. In general, with our dancers, we have that experience, but at the end, even from the first year, is really worth it. So she felt weakness. Um, she was cold, hungry. She was sleepy, and sometimes she feel anxious because all the lack of these things that we usually have. Uh, but something that is very important, and then she mentioned, is that despite this sometimes of weakness, she always was alert and ready to serve. Why? Because remember that we all create everything. Isn't Sometimes we can have like a responsibility, but the responsibility comes from the grandmother asking you to serve. If you come to the moon dance expecting something for you, please don't do it. Because we're become a moon dancers for serving. Start to serving yourself and serving each other. But service is like the key word for this. In the dance circle, she learned that the entrance is at the west, where the light is born. Remember, is the Tlahuistlampa, the light place. And once that you get inside, you take your right side. It means the dance go in the not clockwise, but the opposite way, and it's the expression of feminine energy. We use the same outfit, and this is very important because we don't make any difference between us in order to create unity. So that's why it's so important with your economical apportation or the payment of this moon dance is including your outfit. But please, we need some time to do it as well. So in case that you are at the very last minute taking the decision to come, I will totally encourage you to bring white clothes and we will see how we can manage. The dance starts at evening with the sounds of the Atecocoli, that is the caracol. We talked about that item before as well. And sounds or sorry, ends with the sunrise. Where this time is considered the time of feminine energy. This is the Atecocoli, and this is how it looks, one of the many moon dance circle. And this is just one of the circles. Ours, it's gonna look pretty similar, but it's not the same. Anyways, that's just to give you an idea. Then, during the dance, we recognize our dark side, which works to take us to the light side. When we receive the purification from the Temazcal or sweat lodge, the fast, the silence, the introspection, and the recopilation. Recapitulation. So, what does it mean? This is that after all that hard work that at the beginning might feel or look like really heavy and really hard to do, at the end you will find out when you recapitulate everything that you did, you will feel how that bad feelings are becoming a very good feeling, a fulfillment of I did it, we did it, it was hard, but it was worth it. And after all the experiences that you might have in there, you will be, believe me, really happy. It's important to us to fast for 4 days because of the, not just because of the Codex Borgia described that, but because we have seen, and this is for experience, as a group and personal experience, I can tell you that when you fast for 4 days, you pass through the body kneadings, or I don't know how word to use in English properly, but it's like a barrier. Like if you don't pass through your physical mental barrier, reaching the spiritual world for you, it's gonna be harder. It's not impossible, but it's gonna be harder. So that's why the fast is desirable. But we understand as well that some healthy issues might not be suitable for you. So we totally understand. That's why we have the option of some light food. If you want something heavy, well, that is totally up to you, but we will not bring more of what we offer. That is usually fruits and honey for energy. And well, as I said, that is the reason why. Then the fast is not necessary. Oh, as I was telling you, the fast is not necessary, but desirable. Science teaches to be separated from the material items, allow us to have internal clarity during the work at the dance, focusing the mind in our heart, understanding the visions and messages. We create all together. So the help for the eagle fires or salmadoras, that are the ones that smudge, the singers, the line guides, the kitchen, and any other support that we might need. I love the thing that the grandmother tell us. Ellie used to tell us as well a lot this. We all create everything. Why? Because we come to serve. Remember that we are at service. We're not coming to look nice, or perhaps not necessarily to be like, oh, I'm super comfortable here. And it's not about to make you uncomfortable, it's about to serve without waiting something in exchange. That is what we call a real through service. And the feeling of this is just unbelievable. That is it was her experience on the first year. In the second year, she had the vision of her Nahual. The Nahual to us is one of your power animals, but it's more than an animal. It's like your power energy that it's gonna be with you all your life and it's gonna guide you. The Nahual for Toltecs are a little bit like the Mayans. If you have heard about the Nahual, we have the Nahual and the Tonal, and this is something hard to explain in a few seconds, but I will try. Like if you understand what a power animal is and means to you, the Nahual, it's 3 times that. I will put it like in that way. Then she observed the circle entrance guardians. And during the moon dance, some of our peers, our sisters that are dancing, have all these kind of experiences where they have seen guardians, they have seen people, they have seen animals, they have seen energies. And it's nothing that it's going to damage you, it's something that is, uh, as the name says, guarding us, because we open energetical powerful portals. So all this energy get down in our prayers. So this is important, because if you're bringing like a bad emotions, bad energy, it's not that you might find something bad, but remember the smoke mirror, what I told you, is going to show you your darkness. You might see it. And it doesn't mean that you need to be scared or afraid of it, because at the end, we are elevating the prayer together. So the energy is huge. The reason why you're seeing is because you need to work on it. And that perhaps is the beginning of a huge change in your life. Obviously, if that is part of what do you want. Uh, she says that she mentioned she saw the death god. As I said, this depends. This was her personal experience, but I can tell you that I saw some animals that they approached to us, and I saw as well like little souls of children that were dancing to us. We consider them like pure souls, because they were so little. And I'm not sure if someone lost their little child. We have lots of that, and she wants to work with it. But I saw it, and I was playing with this little child, and my parents were telling me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, you don't see this little one? I'm just playing a little bit." And it was like a huge experience. You can see many things in there. Again, if you are open to it, right? Uh, she says that she had difficult situations during the second year, not during the dance, but during that second year. Difficult situations presents into her life and prove her fate and her beliefs. And the reason why is because once that you are at the second year of dancing, if you don't want to change your life, the energy will push you through. And why is because you are serving into a mundane circle. Your connection with the spiritual world is such close, is such powerful in there, that you will not have another option than start to work in yourself, in your life. And we said if you don't want to do it, the life will push you through. The spirits will push you through. Your Nawal, your guardians, your ancestors, they will push you through in order for you to grow, to succeed, to be more spiritual, to become the best version of you. We said to become who you really was born to be. During the third year, she started to look the auras, and it's very nice because if you know what auras means to us, are these excuse me, are these colorful energy that comes out from your body. And some of the grandmothers even can touch them, and the ones that can see it, they said that when the colors change, they know that you're sick of something specific. So is that powerful? We might not learn how to interpret them at once or at the beginning, but some of the dancers had lots of visions in there of many different things. The third year is very strong as well. And this, we believe that is because during the second year, you start to work really hard on your life. So your mindset starts to change, right? Your connection is closer and closer. All the bells start to move out. So your spirituality starts to grow since the very first year. So by this third year, things very impressive happens. For her was to look aura. She participate in the altar for deaths, and this remember that in Mexican, in Toltec vision and wisdom, death is not something bad. Death is a friend. And this, I can take another entire 2 hours or more to talk about it. But for us, it's not something bad. It's something that we respect, but we see it as a friend as well. Uh, she started to trust more on her intuition, like these little voice that talk in your mind when you said, oh, I should bring this one, and you decide for any reason don't listen to it, and suddenly something happened that you need that item. That is the intuition. So because of her connection was closer, she was able to pay attention and trust it. And she saw the difference between trust and don't trust this voice. She started to look that inside the group is start to have to be some conflicts. And this happens, of course, because some people is remember that everyone is different and not everyone is willing or is easy for them to break through their jealousy, their envy, their egos, the things that they feel comfortable with. To make a life change as we are offering or promoting here is a hard job, and not everyone is capable to do it at the same pace than you. So those are the conflicts that sometimes we can find the group, inside the group. But it's totally right. We just need to be humble, respectful, and understand that the process of everyone is different. They have their own time, they have their own ideas and their own difficulties, because we don't know how those things were created in their past. So we need to be respectful and understandable. Obviously, caring for everyone, including themselves, right? She says that she noticed that some of the peers doesn't assist anymore to the meetings. We mentioned before in another classes that we usually meet once per month after the moon dance, and the reason why is because we want to sustain the work for you. Like moon dance is just 4 days yearly, right? It's very powerful. You will have such an amazing experience there. But if you're not capable to sustain that work, it's gonna be like, oh, the workshop was super nice. It was 4 days. I want perhaps comes back to the next year for the same experience. But you cannot just stop your growing in there. You know what I mean? And the idea to do this is the grandmother says we need to walk in community. We need to create this massive energy. So in order to do it is to increase your spiritual family. That's why we all of us call ourselves brothers and sisters, because we belong to this spiritual family, and it's important to us to sustain each other. So if you choose to walk in community, to don't walk alone through the experiences of your life, this is a way to do it. We walk together in here. We don't force anyone. We don't do that, definitely. It's totally up to you. It's your choice, your personal choice. But we invite you to be part of it. Then she says that she started to recognize the fight of ego that the people in the process start to have. Um, this is a purification fight, we call it. Perhaps fight is not the best word in English, but it's like this opposition of thoughts and feelings that you might have. And it's part of the process. Don't be afraid of it. It's not like from after 4 days of moon dance, you're gonna come out like a totally different person. Because after all, how old are you? How many years takes to you to be who you are today? And it's nothing wrong with it. We're not saying that you're a bad person or no, 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 no ways. You are who you are, and you decide if you want to change something or if you are perfect the way that you are. That is your own decision. But as I said, your guardians, your ancestors, the spirits will push you to the way that you need to go. So, well, that is during the third year. In her fourth year experience, she could see people who compromised themselves but didn't come back to the circle. We encourage you to finish the 4 years, but obviously, it's some people that cannot make it in a row, you know. Perhaps they take 1 year, go the next year, they don't go to the moon dance, they go until the third year, that will be their second year of dancing, or some people just stop to go at the second or the third or whatever, and they don't finish their commitment. That is totally all right. We need to understand that everyone has their own path, everyone has their own peace, and their own growth is personal and it's very respectful. We're going to be here always to help them, and we will receive them with open arms if that's what they choose. But as we said, we don't force anyone. This one started to create division on her group, the lady that wrote the book. And it can be if you don't understand that everyone is different and everyone has their own uh, peace or growth on their own times. But the ones that you understand that this is not an issue. In the fourth year is when you set your name and your tonal. And the reason why is because you already fulfill the commitment of become a moon dancer for 4 years. So this is very powerful because now that you know your tonal, we see your spiritual name, and it's like presented to you with all the spirits and the Mother Earth with your new name. Your spiritual name is something that it's gonna give it to you by inspiration, and it's going to show lots of things in that name, your strengths. I have experienced that some of our sisters didn't believe because they thought that it was like too much and they didn't feel identified with it. And I remember that once I told her one, like, do you really think that the spirits will be wrong on this? And then it was like a shock for her, right? Like, oh, you're right. It's not something that a person decide to give it to you randomly. Everything comes from the spiritual world. And in the level that they are, in the vibration that they are, they doesn't have those kind of mistakes. So I encourage you to believe, to follow up. If you have a name, a strong name, own it, embrace it, because that's who you really are. Then she receives the command stick, what we call in Spanish bastón de mando. We talk about that in another class, but I show you in a few seconds how it looks like. And this is not just like an artifact to look good, It's not just like, oh, it's a stick. You can go for a walk, perhaps. You can, by all means, of course, it's yours now. As a prize, I will say, of fulfill your commitment of 4 years of becoming a moon dancer. It's very powerful. You need to learn how to use it, and that's the reason why we get together during that year, in order for you to learn what you can do, because now you have a piece of the portable for you, with you all the time, and you can elevate and get down through it lots of energies and energy if you choose, but you need to know how to use it with responsibility. Then she noticed at the 4 year the dispersion of some participants. What does it mean is that some of the girls says, okay, I fulfill my 4 years, I go, bye bye, I finish, which is totally all right. Some of us keep going, and for example, Grandma Ellie, she has like 12 years of dancing, I guess, or I don't remember the exact number, probably more. But she keeps doing it, and I love it because she mentioned that she never thought that she will be opening circles, but again, the spiritual world just called her in such a way that she's opening now a circle here in Canada, just like grandmother Malinali did all over the world. Now she's following her steps, right? And we are helping to create this. Then the grandmothers, um, sorry, I mistake this one. The grandmothers dance on the circle, but as I said, obviously they dance on the circle. They can open the circles. You might be able to open a new circle after your 9 year of dancing in the same circle. So if you fulfill 9 years, it's almost like a newborn baby, right? Why 9 years? Because we are in our mom's bum for 9 months. Remember that we are working with Mother Earth, so we're ready to start to give away these teachings once that you're ready for it. But in order for you to reach that, it's not just 9 years of dancing, just like coming and dance and go. No, it's to do the work, to be every month together, to learn, to follow the path, to become a medicine woman, a medicine man, to really heal your life and heal your relationships around you. Once that you get that, opening circles, it's going to be something really like a gift to you. If you choose that, obviously, it's not mandatory. This is the baston de mando or shonekuli. This is the way that it looks like. This is Abuelita Elizabeth. Ellie is the one that is going to bring to us the fire. And well, her stick is like full of many things. As you are working or walking in this red path, in this life, you get more stuff, and everything has a meaning and it has a special power. They can have crystals, feathers, all these ribbons and all that stuff that she have on it. It has a meaning and it has a specific way to work, but it's a very special thing to have and to use. And then we have the recopilation of which are the spiritual gifts that she had after all these dance. So let's make an there. So the spirituality is a feeling that exists in some place and belongs to everybody. I love this one because this is a huge teaching that she have. Spirituality is not something that you can reach like a cup or plate or something material, but it's everywhere and belongs to everybody. Everybody can be as spiritual as they want if they do the work, for sure. Then living inside the material body make us live situations that potentialize our light or our dark. Because we are inside this body, we can go through the good or the bad. Sometimes good feelings or bad feelings, it's up to you. Recognize that we are not this material body. Reaching detachment of dark desires, creating the spiritual body. This is the vehicle to make us free of the birth circle in the samsara, like the Indians, our brothers from India, calls the samsara. This it's explained it like if you have knowledge a little bit about our brothers in India, they believe in the reborning. Like once that you pass away, you born again into another body in order to learn something that your present life wasn't capable to do in this life. That is why they call the samsara. I'm not related of how many lives for them, opportunities to come back to this earth with this body or any other body are for them. For Toltecs are 4. You have just 4 chances before you pass into a different energy. So one way to don't have to come back is getting all the lessons. So learn as much as you can, fulfill your life, and then you will not. It will not be necessary for you to come back. The spirituality is not founded, as we said, it's not something that you found in the corner or someone lost it and you found it. No, it comes by merit. This is very important. If you we have in Nahuatl a name for Toltecs that means the ones who deserve. If you don't deserve it, it will not come to you. So you need to deserve it. And in order to do that, Toltecs believe, we believe, that you need to work for it, to change really your mindset and your life for good, obviously, and to learn how to serve without expecting something back. You learn service, humbleness. Oh, here it is. Give without want something back. Don't desire a specific position. Will take us to get blessed by the great spirits, opening the states of divine consciousness and purification. And you know what? This is real. This is a huge lesson that is totally real. The association with grandmothers show us the path. That means, like, don't fight the grandmothers. Sometimes the elders are not congruent. Sometimes they are not like the perfection itself. But you know what is important? They are in the path. They are humans, they can have mistakes, but what I love from grandmother Ellie is look the message, not the messenger. Like if you are like, oh no, because the grandfather or the grandmother who said that is living in such a way that doesn't reflect what we teach, doesn't mean that the teaching is wrong. The teaching is good, the message is good. It belongs to whoever that need it and take it and embrace it. But don't look the messenger, look the message. Then with the reflection, we start the process to internalize the knowledge. And this is very important because once that you have the knowledge, it's like when you read such a good book, you can learn lots of things. But if you just leave it on your shelf and let it get dust and the time will pass that if you don't practice what you learn, you will forget. So this is important because to internalize means that you make it part of you and it's always present in your life, one way or another. So this is part of the invitations or the experiences that we have. There are lots of experiences as a moon dancers, and I will love my sisters to talk about that. I will ask them if they can kind of record it, and I can perhaps translate it for you in order for you to get a little bit of what in real life happens. But well, this is everything from me for today, and I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, a wonderful life. And if you have any question, please call me. I strongly invite you to be part of this. It's a life changing, and well, it's everything. Thank you for your time. Tlazokamati.